hear about it all the time, the stock market. It can sound like this super complicated world, right? Full of charts and numbers that don't make a lot of sense. But what if I told you it all started with a simple, kind of brilliant idea? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down, from where it all began to how it literally works on your phone today. All right, let's get into it.
I know, it sounds like a weird question, doesn't it? But seriously, the answer to this is the key to understanding the whole system. It's a story that involves adventure, spices, silk, and a huge problem that needed a really creative fix. To really get it, we've got to go way back in time, like 400 years back. This is where the whole concept of buying and selling a tiny piece of a company was born. And it didn't happen in some fancy boardroom. It happened on the high seas.
Okay, so picture this. It's the 1600s. The Dutch East India Company wants to send these massive ships all around the world. But funding these trips was insanely expensive, way too much for the company to handle on its own. So they came up with this game-changing idea. Why don't we ask regular people to chip in? And in return for their cash, they'd get a small piece, a share, of whatever profits the voyage made. And this idea just took off. They started selling these shares in everyday places, like coffee houses and down at the docks. This let the company fund even bigger trips, and it gave investors a chance to get a piece of the action. And here's the crazy part. Without even trying to, they had just invented the world's very first stock market. So how does that 400-year-old idea even matter today? Well, let's fast forward and bring it into the modern world with an example we can all get behind. Let's imagine a small coffee company that wants to get bigger. How do they use that same basic idea to grow? First off, let's be super clear about what a stock or a share actually is. It's not just some random number on a screen. Think of it as a real certificate that says you own a tiny slice of that coffee company. When you buy a share, you literally become a part owner.
So how does our coffee company get its shares out to everybody? Well, it's basically a three-step journey. First, they have to pitch their business plan to some big early investors. If those investors are in, they put up the money for what's called an initial public offering, or an IPO. And that's the big day. The company officially goes public. From that moment on, anybody, you, me, anyone, can buy its shares.
And here's why it's so powerful. It's a two-way street. All that money from investors helps our coffee company build new stores and expand the business. And then, if the company does well and starts making more money, the value of those little pieces of ownership, those shares, goes up. When it works, it's a total win-win. But of course, a stock's price doesn't just go straight up. It's more like a roller coaster with constant ups and downs. So what's behind all that movement? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental battle between buyers and sellers.
Yeah, you can really think of it like a tug-of-war. On one side, if our coffee company's doing great and looks like it's going to be super profitable, lots of people are going to want to buy its shares. That high demand pulls the price up. But on the other side, if things start looking a little risky, maybe sales are down, more people are going to want to sell their shares. That low demand pulls the price right back down.
And what kind of things can affect this tug-of-war? Oh, just about everything. I mean, the cost of coffee beans could shoot up, a competitor could invent some new technology, the company could get some bad press. Heck, even just the overall mood of investors, what we call investor confidence, can cause that price to swing all over the place.
And when you add up all those individual feelings of hope and fear from millions of people, the impact is enormous. It really boils down to this. That constant tug-of-war in the market has real-world power. It can shape everything from amazing economic growth to, even financial crises.
Okay, so why should any of this actually matter to you? Because that system that started in those old coffee houses has grown into something that touches all of our lives today, often in ways we don't even realize.
This right here is probably the biggest change we've seen in the last few decades. For so long, the stock market felt like this exclusive club for the super wealthy. But thankfully, that's just not true anymore.
Honestly, the internet completely changed the game. Now, any of us can buy or sell shares right from our phones. We have endless information to research companies we're interested in. It means you can actually invest in businesses you believe in. And beyond that, it's become a major tool for people trying to reach their own financial goals, like saving for retirement. At the end of the day, the single best investment you can ever make is in your own knowledge. Just understanding how a system like the stock market actually works is a huge first step. So the only real question left is, what are you going to learn about next?